Can China really dethrone the US dollar as the world reserve currency? Well, to start with, figures don't tell us a lot. Let's look at it. The United States dollar is used in 88.5% of all paired trades between currencies. Remember that all of them together add up to 200%. Okay, so the US dollar is in 88% of those international trades between currencies. The second one, the euro, is only at 30.5, from 88.5 to 30.5. These are figures from the Bank of International Settlements. The third and fourth are 16 and 12%, the yen and the British pound. The yuan, the Chinese yuan, is only 7%. It's so far away from where the US dollar is in terms of global trade, it's not even an anecdote. But we also must remember, the only way in which a currency can dethrone another as the world reserve currency is if it has the same independent institutions, freedom of capital movement, and transparency and openness of the financial market as the leader. It's impossible to have a global reserve currency and, like the yuan has, capital controls and a price fixing of the currency created by the Central Bank of China. Furthermore, it is impossible to be a global reserve currency if, at the same time, you impose capital controls and price fixing, and independent institutions do not exist. So legal and investor security is debatable. With a closed financial system and capital controls, it is virtually impossible to be a global reserve currency because global investors, companies, families, etc., simply are not going to accept that currency, let alone the fixing of its price or its capital controls in a normal environment. People demand, and logically, capital freedom. So it's impossible to do it unless that changes radically. I think that it's also very difficult to dethrone the US dollar if you put together the yuan and the Russian ruble. Both have capital controls and a closed and intervened financial system with no real independence in legal and investor security, with India and Brazil that are well known for devaluing their currency constantly in order to disguise some of the imbalances. So that combination doesn't work very, very well. Furthermore, the yuan is pegged to the US dollar. So it makes absolutely no sense today to dethrone it, because it would be virtually impossible to let it float and keep the current exchange rate. So right now there is no alternative to the US dollar. Does it mean that it's not under threat? No. The US dollar is under threat from the US itself. The US government continues to massively increase its imbalances, massively increase deficits and debt as if it didn't matter, hoping that the world will absorb their imbalances consistently and constantly. The biggest threat to the US dollar is not China. The biggest threat to the US dollar is probably the US government and its deficit accumulation and debt accumulation and constant monetization of those deficits. That is the big threat. Furthermore, if we look at the possibilities of alternatives to the US dollar, they're probably not fiat currencies issued by states. The denationalization of money, the choice in currency that Hayek predicted way before the internet exploded, is something that may create the alternative, and nothing that has anything to do with a state-issued currency that, by definition, is always looking to transfer the government imbalances to citizens.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, leave your comments below, and keep defending freedom. Thank you very much.